Shalom Aleichem Internet, my name is Rabbi Sandra Gajzinski, and here is the weekly Torahbyte. This week's Torah portion is Parshat Bo. This Parsha is famous because in it is the seminal moment when finally the Jewish people leave Egypt, and they are free. But are they? Because interestingly enough, if you will follow the trajectory, they go from here through the Red Sea immediately to Mount Sinai, where God gives them a Torah, and in the Torah is 613 commandments that breaks down to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of laws and precepts, guidances and directions, what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And the way that translates into a daily life of one who is, in fact, Torah observant, starts from the very moment you wake up. You can't just get out of bed. You need to say Moda'ani. Okay, you say the words of the Moda'ani. Oh, there's a specific way you say it, where you pause, etc. Okay, so now I said it. No, can I get out? No, you can't get out of bed just yet. You need to wash and teal at Yadayim there by your bedside. Okay, now I'm going to get dressed. There's a way you get dressed. Which clothing you put on first? Which side of the clothing you put on first? You put on the right sleeve before the left sleeve. And when you tie your shoes, you put on the right shoe before the left shoe, but tie the left shoe before the right shoe. Judaism regulates you down to that level. Believe it or not, if you think I'm exaggerating, go look in the Shulchan Aruch in the beginning in the laws about waking up in the morning, and that continues throughout the day. We know that Judaism has something to say pretty much about everything you do: when you eat, what you say before you eat, what you say after you eat, etc. From the way you walk, the way you dress, then obviously all the holidays and all the rules, etc. So the thing is that the Jewish people really achieved freedom when they left Egypt. It seems to be not. What they've done is they changed taskmasters. They were under Pharaoh, and now they're under God. Granted, Pharaoh was a genocidal, evil, horrible human being of a taskmaster. And God is far more benevolent. But can we really call this the Exodus, freedom? And in fact, this was always the plan. God tells Moshe, you're going to leave Egypt, Tavdu Elokim Bar Hazeh, to come into my service. In fact, that was the whole impetus behind this. It wasn't because there was the moral issue of one nation shouldn't enslave another nation. Rather, God says that you are my servants, so you can't be a servant to a servant. You are meant to be my servants. So how, in fact, do we call it freedom? Now, we're not arguing with God's prerogative to make us his servants. God created us, so he has the right and the ability to press us into his service. But it seems to be disingenuous to call this freedom. Yet the Pirkei Avot seems to double down on this idea, and the Pirkei Avot says as follows: there's no one who is as free as the one who has accepted upon themselves the yoke of Torah. I say, wait a minute. The very word yoke implies the device you place on an animal or, God forbid, a human being to force them into serving you. So how could accepting the yoke of Torah make you free? And obviously, as we've been talking about, how does a list of things, of rules, do this, don't do this, actually translate into being free? Well, can you imagine? Let's talk about two individuals. One person gets to walk around, do whatever they want. And the other one has a paper, and this paper says, turn right. Don't turn left, don't go straight, turn right. Now, as you continue, now you go straight. Don't turn in any direction, go straight. And then it says, next step, turn left here, don't turn right, don't go straight, turn left. Which one of them seems to be more free? The one who is able to do whatever they want, or the one who has this paper giving them clear directives as to what they're allowed to, what they're meant to do? And the answer is, obviously, the first one seems to be more free. Unless you understand that these two individuals are in a maze. And then the one who's walking around without any sense of direction or anywhere where to go and keeps on walking into dead ends or going around in circles is entirely trapped. While the one with the paper is holding the roadmap. And the one who's holding that paper is actually the freest one in the maze, because this one knows where to go, has a sense of purpose and direction, while everybody else is walking around aimlessly. Now, let's look at our lives. Let's look at society today. We're all kind of walking around aimlessly. Everybody's trying to figure out what's the purpose and what's the point, what's going to make me happy and what's not going to make me happy. And for the most part, we're not really doing a good job. It seems to be that we rush headlong in one particular direction and eventually hit a dead end and realize, no, that's not really the source of happiness and a sense of fulfillment and a sense of satisfaction and serenity. And we do this, and we look around to see if anybody has a better clue, and nobody seems to have any better clue. And the thing that we're forgetting is that freedom isn't the ability to do whatever I darn well please, because sometimes I don't know what I want to do, and sometimes I don't know what's going to actually make me happy. And I'm kind of lost, like I'm in a maze. Rather, freedom is when I have a sense of where I'm going, and I have guidance on how to get there. And who better to receive that instruction and guidance from the one who made us, and made us for a purpose, and made us for a reason, and is going to point us in the direction of how to fulfill that purpose and mission. Can you imagine if you took a hammer, and the hammer, you anthropomorphize a hammer, as the hammer has come to life, and you turn to the hammer and say, you're free, you can do whatever you want. You can sit on the couch and eat potato chips. Or if you want, you can smear cream cheese. Or what you do whatever you want. And what's the hammer going to say? Yes, I may be free to do all the things, but you know what I really want to do? I want to hit a nail. That's what I'm created for. That brings me satisfaction and purpose. And so the same thing with each and every one of us. We're not looking just to be free to do whatever we want. We are looking to be free in order to do that which is purposeful and meaningful, what we were created to do. Not freedom from. That's not the ideal. Not just to be free to do whatever I want and nobody can restrict me. Freedom to, being free to pursue my purpose. That's the key to actual happiness. And so when our founding fathers said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, they kind of got it wrong. That's not the Judeo-Christian value. That's not the Judeo value. And in fact, that's not where happiness is, because we see so many people pursuing their happiness and not actually achieving anything close to happiness. Rather, the Jewish value is life, liberty, and the pursuit of purpose. And when you actually pursue purpose and you have some guidance and sense of what purpose is, and obviously the Torah is that instruction manual from the one who created us and imbued us with purpose. And when you pursue that purpose, that actually leads to happiness. And so there is, in fact, no one who is as free as the one who actually takes the Torah and uses it to guide them. And ask anybody who has imbued their life with this. They will tell you that there's not a time where they feel a greater sense of substance, a greater sense of purpose, and therefore a greater sense of happiness than when they are able to follow the precepts of the Torah and live that full, rich life. And that's the message of this week's Parsha, which is why the name of the Parsha, this Parsha in which the Jewish people left Egypt, is not the word leave or go out or went, but it's actually the word Bo. Bo means come. The goal of leaving, of freedom, is not just to leave any restriction behind, but it's actually to come into your purpose. God is saying, don't leave Egypt, come to me, meet me at Mount Sinai. And over there you will find your purpose, over there you will find your freedom, and over there you will find your true happiness. So in terms of the priorities that we all put in front of ourselves on any given day, our goal is not to just find a way to be free of any type of restriction. Our goal is to find where does my freedom allow me, or how does my freedom allow me to pursue my purpose. Put that front and center, and in that you will find your true freedom. Shabbat Shalom.